Good afternoon and happy Thanksgiving, or at least the day before. We're approaching that 12-hour march. I guess we're past that. It's almost Thanksgiving, Russ.
It is almost.
Thankful to have you here.
Yeah, good, and happy Thanksgiving, of course, to everyone. Yeah, good to be here once again a little earlier this week because, of course, the holidays.
The holidays, absolutely.
We talked about last week, and I'm sorry, I'm going to jump right into something because I was curious. You know, last week we talked about our favorite food, really got into the food part of this, which is obviously an incremental part, instrumental part of Thanksgiving. But I want to know, there's a lot. You got your parade.
Oh, yeah.
You got football.
Yeah.
You got family, you got food, you got, there's so much. What do you, let's just say outside, well, we will include the dinner. What is the one single thing for Thanksgiving if you could really lock in? What's the one single thing about Thanksgiving that you're like, this is my thing?
This is like the corniest, sounds made up answer I could possibly give.
Okay.
But being thankful.
I like it.
You know, I think that it is so important to be thankful. I think it is so important to take stock in the things you have. I think that when you're grateful for what you have in life, I think it invites more things to be grateful for. I think it makes it easier to recognize the people in your life. And I think it's so easy sometimes to, especially in today's world, like look outside of what you do have and say, oh man, I sure would like that iPhone 20 in a spaceship. But it's like, you know, if you're able to go spend Thanksgiving with people you love, if you're able to be indoors, if you're able to have a home-cooked meal, then you should be thankful, and you should also be considerate to the people who might not have that. And it's a good time to be looking to give back. It's a good time to just kind of smell the roses in life. One of my grandfathers always said, have this attitude of gratitude, and it really, really sunk into me more later as I started to mature. And I remember so many Thanksgivings going to the north side of Chicago, watching the Lions play with him. We were Bears fans, but, you know, Lions always on Thanksgiving Day. And, you know, so for me, it really is about, and that's why it's such one of my favorite holidays, is like, it really does make that a focal point, you know, to truly take stock, be thankful. We have so much to be thankful for, and spend that time with the people you love. I've had Thanksgivings where it's a huge spread. I've had Thanksgivings where it's just maybe me and another person. You know, I remember some COVID Thanksgivings where it was like just me and my sister. But we had each other, and we had an awesome time, and we just made ourselves food. Whatever you have to be thankful for, it's great to be thankful for it. And so, yeah, I am thankful for Thanksgiving. My favorite part of Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving.
I love it. You know what? I'm so glad I asked that question. Best answer.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Heard that.
Thanks, buddy. Well, what about you?
I can't.
The football.
You know how in the morning. No, well, I certainly can't top that. I will say that I think this is kind of a cheating answer, right? I love every aspect of it. It does go to a certain extent. I was talking to my wife this morning. We were in the car running a couple errands before work, and I told her, you know, in you, even at your age, probably have this, me being significantly older, is you have these things in your mind that pop up every once in a while. And it really, like, completely, if you think about it, brings you back to that point, no matter how long ago it was. For me, growing up, when I was younger, I would say single digits, early teens, go to my grandparents, my mom's parents, every year. And that's just where we did it. It was funny, the same routine. Dinner was always at 4 o'clock. We always got there between about 12 and 1. And you just do the things. You're with family. Grandpa was big. He was known for, he was a great turkey carver.
Oh, there you go.
In addition to
important skill that day.
And loved, he was very good at making the sweet potatoes and the mashed potatoes as well.
Okay.
Best mashed potatoes you ever had. But anyway, when I think about in Thanksgiving, like you, for me, that is, I mean, I think if I can set Christmas aside and just say, okay, Christmas is beyond that Thanksgiving easily my favorite holiday. And it's those memories, is thinking about kind of the same things, looking now and going, I'm thankful that I had those experiences, and it kind of almost like led the way for me, if that makes sense, kind of was a good guide for me moving forward in the rest of my life. Even though we don't have those times anymore, I can settle myself in those moments and think about, really get that feeling of what that was like.
Right.
And then carry it on, carry it through how I feel about Thanksgiving. I mean, and it's about people. But I love every aspect. I love getting up, watching the parade. I'm a big geek when it comes to that. Like, I've got to be in front of the TV set. When it starts, I watch all 3 hours. It does go into football, even though I'm a huge football fan. I don't necessarily catch a lot of football. I'll catch a little bit, but because then it's about the food to me. It's about we'll start watching Christmas movies tomorrow. It's a long answer. It's a whole thing. It's about being thankful for everything, just like you said. And I think you summed it up much better than I can, even though it's taken me 3 minutes to say that.
Well, I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
and you're excited about it.
Exactly.
And you're excited about it.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing here. We're talking a little bit about, I know myself, I'll start traveling tonight.
Yeah.
So it's important to, talk about some of that Thanksgiving travel, a lot of that Thanksgiving morning travel as well. So here we go. We got a first alert forecast I see right at the top of the screen here. Let's break it down, my man.
Right, yeah. So what we're looking at is we take a look at heading into the overnight hours and Thanksgiving, and a lot of folks travel today. You're traveling this evening. Some people may be getting up, heading to family's house tomorrow morning, early tomorrow afternoon. Generally, we're just going to be cloudy overnight tonight. Notice our winds tomorrow morning. So, see these arrows, they start to pick up more and more of the south, or the northwest, I should say. We'll start to see just a few flurries, light snowflakes tomorrow morning. Going to be cloudy, but the big story is going to be, take a look at our 7 a.m. temperature. In Fargo, it's 15 degrees. Notice we get to 10 a.m., it's down to 13.
Oh, wow.
Colder, have been driving to the area. Notice also, especially Minnesota, Red River Valley areas east, looking at generally very light snowfall, but we are going to get a little bit of snow in those areas. You head farther west, still cloudy, Devil's Lake Basin, James River Valley. Now we jump into 2 o'clock. Temperature continues to hang there in the low teens with single digits in some areas as that very cold air continues just to drive into the region. We talk about that cold air. This is what we've been talking about the last several days, is how cold it's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Lows at or below zero, highs in the single digits to maybe low teens. Thursday is the day, it's kind of that transition day or Thanksgiving where that cold air is actually starting to pour into the region. 5 o'clock, notice we're getting colder by the hour as we move through the day. When we get to the overnight hours, tomorrow midnight, Thanksgiving midnight, the sky starts to clear out. Again, we still got that strong northwest breeze. We're already 4 below zero in Langdon at midnight tomorrow night, 1 Devil's Lake, 5 Grand Forks, 6 degrees in Fargo. Now, what I'm going to show you next is opportunities for snow. We saw the fact that generally speaking, we could see some very light snow across the region as we head into your Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. All areas here, I think we're going to see less than half an inch. And in fact, a dusting at the most for some areas. But there is a good chance for the entire area to get a little bit of snow early in the day tomorrow. Okay, so I think this afternoon will be dry. Overnight, early tomorrow, chance for a little bit of light snow. Thanksgiving Day itself, we've got temperatures teens to low 20s. I think Minnesota could start in low 20s, but again, the big key is temperatures dropping through the day. Cloudy, light snow flurries, and then later in the day, we'll sneak in some sunshine. So kind of the big picture for tomorrow, if nothing else, a little bit of light snow. Cold temperatures, very windy with it getting cold later, so want to make sure if you plan on spending any time outdoors, want to make sure you have that heavier jacket with heavy gloves, the hat. I know some folks like to get out and play their Thanksgiving, whether it's family, friends, a Thanksgiving football game.
Right.
A lot
I
of fun.
think it's a little cold this year, in my opinion.
It's a little cold. We do have the snow on the ground, might see a little more coming down early, but I think the big thing, like you said, just is going to be cold. If you're going to be outside doing those things, or
do it
maybe
appropriately.
you're a little sweating or whatever the case, do it appropriately. So this is one thing I kind of wanted to talk about here. This is a different look. This is our 4 p.m. wind chill. So what we're looking at here, it does pop up, there we go. So this is taking 4 p.m. Thursday and 4 p.m. Friday wind chill values. So this is not the actual air temperature, but this is what it feels like on the skin with the wind chill. That's the temperature combined with the wind itself. 4 o'clock tomorrow, I know, it's going to feel like 2 below in Fargo. It's going to feel like 10 below Thief River, 14 below in Devil's Lake. Again, a little sunshine coming out late, very cold. Then check out Friday. Friday, again, this is your 4 p.m. wind chill.
This is hilarious to me.
I know. So we've got, of course, a lot of people out shopping. And, maybe as many people don't do this as they used to because they can just jump on whatever.
It's got to be really comforting for these people who are watching. Are like, well, hey, at least it's not negative 24. It just feels like negative 24.
Exactly.
I'm going to go for a run.
Right, and I was going to say, and it's sunny, so
don't go for a run. Did you go for a run, Russ?
I'm not negative 24.
Okay.
But we do know. I know we've got a couple people who work here who are going to go out and do the early morning Friday, the Black Friday thing. Just know It is going to be super cold.
There might be White Walkers.
Brutal. That's right. That's right.
Just
That's right.
know.
So, see, you're learning now.
Yeah,
You've been
I've
watching more
seen.
Game of
I
Thrones.
think we just finished season 2.
Look at you.
So
you liking it more now?
It is really violent, and I think that a lot of those people are just have very bad manners, very rude,
Yeah.
and sometimes I'm just like, who raised you? Who raised you?
Right.
Chopping off heads
Were you
willy-nilly.
Were you born in a barn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were.
Exactly.
It seems that way. There's a lot of
barns.
barns. There's a lot of, and you know what? Those people in that show,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to spend Thanksgiving with them
No, well,
because they might chop my head off.
right. There are a couple.
Yeah.
There are a couple, but I mean, for the most
Yeah.
part,
I like the shorter fellow.
Oh yeah,
Targaryen, Marion.
No, it's a
Tenarius? No.
There's
Tyrion,
Tywin's
Tyrion.
and Tyrion. There we
Yeah,
go.
I see.
Tywin's the father.
I think
and
everyone's
forget about him.
Argarius, Tharfarius, Thesaurus.
Did you say nefarious?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Keep watching.
I'm going to keep watching.
Yeah.
I just got to get flashcards for the names. Very hard to keep track of.
Well, the thing is, the good news is there are more people be introduced, and some people will go. So it's a fluctuation.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. Last thing we're going to show you here: Thanksgiving weekend forecast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We saw the wind chills. Actual high Friday 9 degrees, 3 below for your temperature Saturday morning with a high of 8. Sunday 12 degrees. Now the good news: lots of sunshine Friday, lots of sunshine Saturday. We'll see a few more clouds on Sunday. So I guess prep for overall big picture. Going to be very cold starting tomorrow. Very cold starting tomorrow. Chance of light snow at times throughout the morning hours. Otherwise, we're going to get the sunshine. It is going to be about those cold temperatures.
Well, it's going to be cold, guys.
Yes.
It's going to be cold. Just as far as travel goes, I think that's just a good reminder to make sure you turn that car on a little bit early. A lot of people got that automatic starter. Good time to use that. And be patient.
Yes.
People are cold. People are cranky. Give them a little extra grace. You
Right,
know?
and you wouldn't think they'd be cranky on Thanksgiving, but some people aren't that
Yeah,
cranky.
yeah.
Well, they're cranky all the
I had
time.
to go
right?
get the can of yams.
And if nothing
I'm
else,
missing the Bears game. They're down 35. It's the second quarter.
Right,
and they're very upset about it because they still believe there could be a comeback.
I think there's always this. If you're watching football, right, and you're frustrated and you just want to change, just talk about politics. Thank you.
Here we go.
I'll be
Here we
all
go.
week.
Let's go with the picks. Thanksgiving Day, waking up nice and early.
Yes,
And I'll be in Mountain Time, so 10:30 a.m. for me. This is an 11:30 Central Time game. The Detroit Lions, a Thanksgiving tradition. They always play really well on Thanksgiving too. It seems like, and they are really good this year. Hosting the Chicago Bears, who are like really good at losing close games. So the Lions will win on a fumbled snap at the 2-yard line. It'll be 20, maybe it's 26 to 21. Lions win because someone fumbles it out of bounds and it rolls all the way back.
Right.
And then
right.
Eminem picks up the ball.
Yeah.
Does a whole rap
Starts
about it.
rapping. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. So
Don't
there's
get that
a
guy
close
going.
one.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So I've got Detroit.
Yeah.
I have to tell you real quick. I was here this weekend working. I was here Sunday and with Ethan, and Ethan couldn't have been more frustrated. I think.
Oh, I
after the
bet.
Bears.
Yeah. I'm not going to watch this game. It's on Fox, so I'm not going to watch.
Yeah.
You got Dallas. They're bad.
Dallas
They're
is
hosting
bad.
New York. They're bad.
I know.
It's also like right in the middle of the afternoon. It's turkey time. This is the time where you have to be. You got to think about your strategy for the day. You're not watching that game. This is like, hey, I'm a family guy.
Right.
Eat all that turkey. All right. And then you're like, oh, I better go relax.
That's
And
right.
then you relax and watch Green Bay beat the Dolphins after the Dallas Cowboys win in an ugly one against the Giants.
So we got the 3 home teams. I do want to say
Yeah.
something about Dallas and Giants. If you do have fantasy players for those teams, maybe you're interested, but the problem is if you have fantasy players in these teams,
You're in
not
trouble.
doing well anyway.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
The
you're in
season's
trouble.
basically over for you.
Yeah. Maybe a good Christian Watson game for those Bison fans. We'll
There you
see.
go, yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs at Las Vegas Raiders. And we'll go quick. I know we got the 4 o'clock show coming up.
Yeah. Thank you. Kansas City.
Kansas City. The LA Chargers visiting your Atlanta Falcons. Kind of a tough one to pick.
It's a tough one to pick. My hope, I'm going with the Falcons, and it's more based on hope, is that they got run out of building twice now on the road and come back, come help. And what I'm also hoping is the Chargers, who had a tough game on Monday night, maybe reeling a little bit,
Okay.
flying across country to Atlanta. So I've got Atlanta. I know the spread's really close. I took Atlanta.
I went with the Chargers, kind of a coin flip game for me. Cincinnati Bengals hosting hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bengals were favorites. I think that's silly. I think the Steelers are going to win.
I saw that too. I wouldn't be surprised Cincinnati. Had Pittsburgh not lost to Cleveland, I might feel better about Cincinnati winning, but I think Pittsburgh losing at Cleveland the last game, I think they're going to be straighten Tomlinson, he's going to straighten things out. I got Pittsburgh.
Okay, I like that. Minnesota hosting Arizona. Both pretty good teams. I think Minnesota's better, so Vikings.
I do too, and that's what I have.
New England Patriots hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Colts.
Yeah, I was going to say, look what I did. I almost picked Patriots, and I was like, no, so I got the Colts.
Yeah, I think they're slightly better. The Colts, who knows? Maybe it's really cold. New England wins. It's not a lock, but I got the Colts. New York Jets. I keep picking them. I am wrong. I'm picking them again. I think they'll beat the Seahawks.
I thought what's funny about that is my natural inclination was to go to the Jets, and I'm like, no, wait, it's the Jets. so
you're learning. I'm not.
Yeah.
Good for you. The Washington Commanders hosting the Tennessee Titans. Commanders overrated. Titans appropriately rated. Very bad.
Yes.
So I'd go to the Commanders.
Agree. Commanders. Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Houston Texans. If this was an unarmed man from Texas versus a wild animal, I would go with the Jaguar, but it's a football game between a bad team and a good team. Going with a good team, that's the Texans.
So I picked the Texans. I will say this. This is like one game. Not that I would have gone with the Texans 100%. I will say it wouldn't totally surprise me if Jacksonville goes up. I feel like for some reason Jacksonville's going to muster up and have a good game this year. They're feisty.
Yeah, we'll see.
They can be.
They're not feisty. They're bad. The New Orleans Saints hosting the LA Rams.
I went Saints.
Oh, Rams. Yeah,
okay.
We'll see. Carolina Panthers hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, come on.
Yep.
Yeah. Baltimore Ravens. I skipped one. No, I didn't. Baltimore Ravens hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Best game of the week, hands down.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
I took the Eagles, and I agree with you. Best game, hands down.
I took the Eagles.
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Looks like Purdy still kind of dinged up. I think that's a factor, enough of a factor for me to go with the Bills. And that's kind of weird. The 49ers are having a rough year.
You know why I went with the Bills.
My dad's name is Bill. Happy
right.
Thanksgiving, Dad, if you're watching.
right.
The Denver Broncos, the Party Ponies, taking on the Cleveland Browns and the hilarious awesomeness that is Jameis Winston.
Right.
And I don't know. I went with the Browns.
Yes.
They won in the snow. I liked what Jameis Winston said about playing in the snow. I feel like you get. I haven't looked at the forecast, but I feel like maybe some flurries in Mile High.
Yeah.
I could just see it happening.
Okay. I went with Denver. It wasn't the easiest pick on the board for me. I do think Denver's going to win, but it wasn't as if I was like, Denver, they're great. No, I think it's going to be a close game.
Denver's the favorite for a reason. So anyway.
There's something more to say. I believe. Give me like 3 seconds, and if I can't think of it, 2, 3. I guess I'm just gonna. We're gonna go. I guess.
I guess that's a cliffhanger, folks. You'll
Yeah.
have to come back next time, figure out what Russ was going to say. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Have a very
Have
a very happy Thanksgiving and safe travels, everybody.